So I decided to upgrade my Moza Air, and I was choosing between the Weebill S and the RSC2. And I initially bought the Weebill S based on some reviews I watched because it was $100 cheaper and I'm cheap. And then I watched a couple more YouTube videos after I ended up getting this Weebill, and it showed that the stability on the RSC2 was like far superior. The Weebill S looked like some monkey was carrying it, and the RSC2 looked smooth and great, and obviously everyone said, oh my god, I should go with the DJI. So what I do, I ordered the DJI so I could compare the two myself. And I'm not a YouTuber and I don't make videos, but I just thought those videos were doing this Weebill S such an injustice by making it look so bad, because really I don't know, the difference between the two is marginal, and I'm going to post the footage, or you can see the footage in a minute, and I guess you can decide and let me know. I'm curious to to see what you think compared to everyone else's footage. It honestly looks like when they were using the Weebill S, they were going like, and then they were holding the RSC2 and doing it nice and smooth. So the question is, which one am I keeping now that I think they both have pretty much equally smooth footage? I am keeping the DJI. And I'm not going to run through and tell you all the reasons and I'll weigh them and all that bullshit, but I am going to tell you quickly the reasons why I'm settling on the DJI over the Weebill S. So I mostly wanted to upgrade this because my Moza, I had the Moza Air 2. The thing is so heavy after using it for a while, it like made my shoulders hurt. And these are a lot lighter. So I went with the Weebill S because it's even lighter than this one. I think like half a kilogram, however much that is. But what did I like about the Weebill S? Well, this extra spot, because I would screw another one of these little, whatever these are called, I would screw one of these into it, so when I held it for stability, I could hold and film like this. And maybe instead of doing some imaginary thing, I should do that, but I don't really feel like it. But and then the whatever this is referred to as the briefcase carry, this part that comes out is awesome. So what's not great about this thing? Well, it's kind of cheap, basically. The Moza was built like a tank, and you could tell by how much it weighed, but it didn't feel like, this thing just feels like it's going to break. Second of all, and most reviews say the layout of the controls is horrible. I mean, it's like, this is how my hand fits over it, and it's like all the controls are down here. And also the modes on it are kind of weird. Like if you want to go from one mode to the next, you flip this switch. And if you want to go to another mode, you have to like press the button. And I may be wrong, and I'm sure people are going to call me an asshole and tell me that there's different ways to do it, but I didn't use it that long. But I did find a lot of times when I was using it, I would accidentally press the buttons, or press this. This is the way you move the gimbal around, and I just wasn't too into the actual feel of the gimbal in your hand. Now it is light, it's super light, and it's super small, and it's compact, and this handle is like phenomenal. But I am keeping the DJI. Obviously I haven't returned this yet. And why do I want to keep the DJI? Well, because opposite of the Weebill, the DJI just feels like so good in your hands. It's perfect fit for my hands. The layout on it, this little control wheel that I literally never use, is in a really good spot. The joystick is nice on it, and then it's got this mode button right here, which I don't know if you can see, but all you do is click through the modes to do the different modes as far as the tilt and pan and all that stuff control. Now, what don't I like about the DJI? Well, it's $100 more than this, which, oh, we're losing focus. Where'd we go? Whoa! Hey, camera. What the fuck is going on? There we go. That was weird. So what don't I like about the DJI? Well, what I don't like about the DJI is, let me tell you a story. I got a MacBook Pro, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and when I got it, excited to, hook up my SD cards and all that stuff to it. I don't know why I pointed that for an SD card, but I realized it doesn't have a USB port. It's got these USB-C things, which are great, and it's fast, and it's awesome. But sometimes you just need a damn USB port. And it had 4 USB-C and 0 USB. So when I wanted to use a card reader or whatever that little pad is I use for Photoshop, or pretty much anything you want to plug into it was USB at the time, I couldn't plug it into it without a goddamn adapter. Who wants an adapter hanging out of their computer to use a USB port? So anyway, long story short, when I went to hook my monitor to this thing, I realized there's not a, what is it, a 1/4 inch? I don't know, this thing right here. 1/4 inch or whatever size that is, right there. Basically threading, where you screw something into to hook my monitor to it. Well, I'm looking for it on here, and it's got this little thing that looks like a screw, so I'm trying to take it out like an idiot, and I realize it doesn't come out, and then I realize this is some sort of an attachment where a thing slides over and clamps on, which it really is an ingenious idea, because the threading is always turning and misaligning and whatnot, and it is a pain in the ass, don't get me wrong, but give me the option, you know what I mean? So now, here we are. I've got 2 of them. Now I have to spend $40. That's about the cheapest I could find. $40 for some attachment arm to hook a monitor to this thing. What else don't I love about it compared to this Weebill here? Well, the lack of the briefcase handle mode. Now there is a handle that hooks to this neat little extra expensive part here that will allow you to do briefcase mode, which I'm definitely going to get. But just this has it built in. This has it built in, and this doesn't have it built in. So obviously it's nice to just have it pre-built in. What else don't I like about this? Nothing really. It's awesome. I mean, this, I read a review, or one of the comments on one of the reviews was the RSC2 is like a Ferrari and this thing is like a Hyundai. That's true. This is just, it's just a little rickety old something, and then the DJI is, it's just robust, and it just, fuck, it feels good in your hands. The other thing that I noticed about the DJI that I liked and is worth pointing out, I guess 2 things. One is I've never used a gimbal that was so kind to balancing. I mean, this thing, it's just like, it's almost like it doesn't matter where you put the camera, you slide it around, just, and it's ready to go. It's balanced and it's wild. And this here, well, they're all locked. This was a lot more finicky, and I found myself in the way you adjust, I don't know what this is called, who cares? The way you adjust this part, and then, you know, I've got, imagine I got a big camera sitting here and I'm like trying to reach under here and get this. It's just, it's not that easy. And then DJI made this guy here, or girl, such that you can, there's dual adjustments. So I can adjust down here, and then there's like this fine tuning adjustment you can do with this top plate that slides in and out. And it's, I don't know, it's great. I've owned the DJI, or I'm sorry, the Moza Air 2. I've used this, and then I think the first one I got, I don't know, the Nebula Slant it was, and that was the first gimbal I got. And then there's this DJI, and I've never used a gimbal that was so easy to balance. So yeah, I mean, I guess the takeaway is, if you buy either one, they're both stable gimbals. They both had a great payload. I mean, I don't know what you're putting on your gimbal. This is a Sony a7 III with a cage with a 24 GM lens. I mean, it holds it no problem. You know what I might do after this? Maybe I'll put a big stupid lens on this and see if it actually works, and then we can talk about how great it is, and I'll look at all the weight it holds. Alright, so there you have it. It's a Sony a7 III in a cage with the Sigma 105 f1.4. My god, this lens is heavy, and I mean, it's pretty good. It handles it, and maybe I can only go down that far. It's going to hit on the back, but I'll get some footage, and you can see what kind of footage we get from this beast on here, 105mm. But that's it. The Weebill S is going back, but for the YouTube reviews that are out there, or the comparison videos that are showing that this thing is like a shake monster, and this is like the DJI is so smooth and the Weebill's shaky, I don't know, maybe they don't know how to balance a gimbal. I'm not sure what was happening. Maybe DJI paid them to make it suck, and this is just to kind of clear things up, and I hope the video or the footage, you know, kind of helps you make a better, more informed decision. Okay, cool.